ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What You Say Anime. I am your host, Peter. On today's episode, we are going to be checking out all the new shows that's coming up for summer 2025. We like to do the newer shows because if you're already watching Dawn to Dawn, if you're already watching My Dress Up Darling, we don't need to tell you to watch it. So we're going to be talking about all these new shows that we're planning on checking out. I got a lot. Miles has like 6. We're going to go over them and discuss. This is just going to be based off like the synopsis. If you do want to see my thoughts on the shows with the PVs included, if you go to our YouTube page on our live tab, I did a preview with going over all the PVs for the new shows next season. So have that if you want to check that out. But today we're here to do like our actual podcast episode. So I invited Miles and we're going to talk some anime. So Miles, what's your initial thoughts on the upcoming summer season?
Yeah, you vaguely alluded to in your introduction here, but I think it's a pretty sequel heavy season. You know, the two that you pointed out, Dawn to Dawn, My Dress Up Darling being the highlights. Call of the Night Season 2 is something that I know people will be excited for. And of course, in about a calendar year, we will be seeing Kaiju number 8 second season sweeping the anime awards, being in every category once again, because surely it will be.
Of course, it's super good.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Even me, the solo leveling apologist, didn't really get that one.
Ain't that the truth?
Though I do think there are some things that could be pretty interesting this season. I picked out some shows that are sort of dark horses for me. Like, you'll be hearing a lot that I think this will probably suck, but maybe.
But maybe.
And that's what we live for. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, you get something like that. You find a hidden gem. There's probably people who thought Apocalypse Hotel was going to be like that.
It wasn't even on my plan to watch, and now it's my anime of the year frontrunner. Like, you never know.
It's not my anime of the year frontrunner, but I really like it.
I'll take that. At this point, I'll take it.
But yeah, I'm excited to talk about the shows as always.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said. Heavy, especially top end sequels. People have been waiting for My Dress Up Darling for almost 2 years. Dawn to Dawn was only
it's more Bunny Girl Senpai, right?
Like Bunny Girl Senpai, Kaiju, Dawn to Dawn. Your favorite, Rising of the Shield Hero, Sakamoto.
No one cares about that anymore.
That's
it
true.
Died.
I'm looking forward to something like Grand Blue Season 2, which we might actually watch Season 1 for a watch club.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Stone, Rent a Girlfriend, Panty and Stocking is coming back. Like, there is so much sequels that like are clouding up the top, but I think we found a handful of shows that seem interesting, at least, that we want to talk about and give our thoughts. But the first one we're going to start with is one that I've read like 100-ish chapters of. It's a show that I cannot wait. It's essentially what I want Blue Box to be in terms of shonen romances, and that's The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Despite being adjacent to one another, Chidori Public High School and all-girls Kiko Private Academy seem to exist in two different worlds. While the latter boasts the immaculate reputation of favors students and wealthy backgrounds, the former is a nest of dim-witted delinquents. Everyone at Kiko harbors a deep hatred for Chidori. 16-year-old Rintaro is a student at Chidori, where intimidating face leads to people avoiding him. Rintaro pays no mind to this as he is content with a group of friends. However, there is something that he has not told them. Sometimes he helps out at his family's cake shop. One day at work, Rintaro sees a customer at the table, but she runs off before he can talk to her. The next day, he receives an apology from the girl, Waguri, who explains that she did not run away because of his appearance and that she believes Rintaro is a kind-hearted person. Although he is not used to the bright personality, Rintaro looks forward to forming a friendship with her. There is just one obstacle that stands in their way. The girl goes to the other school. So, very classic, common delinquent ex-good girl type of show. Think of something like Grease, maybe, or something like that, where you have the character Rintaro, who is this delinquent looking. He's super tall, bleach blonde hair. He's got like earrings and stuff, but he's like down to earth, super nice, great group of friends. He just gives off this appearance, and you find out why later in the show that he does these things. It's like a really like awesome personal moment between him. And this is just a show that I genuinely think is just one of the best shonen romances right now. I think it does a great job at like not hindering the pace that other shonen romances do. They get together pretty quick. and develop their relationship. It's mostly the relationships that blooms. It is between them, but they're friends as well. So it's like a great group dynamic in terms of a relationship. If you like something like Horimiya, where I think that had like a good group dynamic with some relationship involved, it's something similar in that style. So, Miles, what's your thoughts on the fragrant flower blooms with dignity?
So there are two things. Like I think I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm looking forward to it. In my head, when I first look at this, read this explanation, right? What I want is some sort of turf war thing between the public school kids
Mm-hmm.
and the rich girls academy. Some sort of like Romeo and Juliet, or the one with Maria in it.
Yeah.
West Side Story.
Yes. The Jets.
I don't think we're gonna get exactly that here.
You are not.
However, I still think it'll be fun. I sort of like the whole opposites attract thing. That's always fun. And I like the whole group dynamic of Horimiya. I think that's like probably the stronger part of Horimiya. Generally, is that like the side characters are pretty likable, and the group feels like an authentic high school friend group, and like all of that, which is something that is a little hard to replicate. I'm interested to see how it progresses, because you know me, I'm all about the chase.
Yep.
If they start dating too early, it's over for me. So
I think they do a good job what they do with this show, because we get both. We get both the chase, and we also get like a solid relationship. So I think you'll find,
you know what?
You'll find a happy medium.
Yeah, you can pivot to a B couple.
I didn't want to say it, but you found it.
Okay, there we go. That's where we're at, because like I'm thinking of like Kaguya, right? Where one, they did that transition well, and then they also were like, and here's a love triangle, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm still going to be reading your chapters, Aka. My God. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited to watch this one. I'm not the world's biggest romance watcher.
True.
But I am the world's most medium romance watcher.
You do have that title. Yes.
That's what they say about me. They're like, Miles, he watches the exact median of romance anime. But this one, I don't know. It just vibe-wise, it seems like a good show. I don't know how to describe it better than that, but you've read a lot of it, so I'm gonna have to trust you here.
Yep. A couple things with this one. First, Cloverworks is doing this. The PV looks so beautiful. Cloverworks has already established themselves as a top studio, so we're gonna be getting this and Dress Up Darling by Cloverworks this season. So expect two very pretty romances.
And more Bunny Girl Senpai, right?
Is that Cloverworks?
I believe, yes.
Okay, because if that's the case, then we have 3, which is kind of nutty. This is just like a really wholesome story that I enjoyed. The drama aspects of the show are more towards, in the beginning, the dynamic between the boys of being like poor, even though they're not, but they're perceived as like poor or stupid or delinquent, and it's really about like showcasing who you are as a person. And I really like those stories, especially when it's done in the way of somebody who, I mean, it's like Toradora, right? Like Ryuji comes off as the tiger. He's aggressive, but he's actually like a sweetheart deep inside. And I really like that about the main character, Rentaru. Also, shout out in a rare shonen where the main character, not only are both of his parents alive, they are very supportive. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the story. So there's a lot that goes into it. The main complaint that I see with this show in terms of people who read the manga is that the cast is huge. Like we start out with, I think something along the lines of like 7 or 8, and then progress into like something closer to 12. So it's bigger than like a Horimiya cast, but I personally find a lot of the cast members very enjoyable. I do like the B romance subplot as well that goes into this story. And it's just great. It's a great human like drama with these high schoolers like trying to battle the adversity that they're faced. So it's nothing super serious. It's wholesome 95% of the time. And I really hope people just enjoy like a nice bubbly romance. And this is it.
I want to plant my flag here. I'm looking at the list of characters on Mal. There's only 6 for this first season, maybe the last one. But
they'll focus on those 6. Those 6 are for sure the main 6 on Mal.
Okay. Because we have Okay, it looks like we have 2 female characters and 4 male characters.
Yep.
And so, okay, I guess unless we get the plot twist of a century, I can't see a shonen anime shipping 2 of the boys. So, Subaru here is going to have to end up with one of these people
Maybe.
that isn't Rentaro or Rentaro even. So I'm going to go Shohei. That's who I'm going to ship Subaru with, regardless
Okay.
of the reality presented to me,
I like that.
because they look like he's like fun and ganky, and she looks like she has said 7 words in her entire life. And I think that'll be fun.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I hope if you're a romance fan, definitely check this out. It's just a great, easy watch. I guess it was an easy read for me, so I'm hoping it's an easy watch for everybody else. So that's the Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Miles, what are we checking out next?
Yes. Next is Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu, or The Summer Hikaru Died. Best friends Yoshiki and Hikaru have been stuck together like glue for most of their lives. Living in a small village and being the only children their age, the 2 boys find solace in each other's company. Their friendship seems picturesque at first glance, but Yoshiki has noticed a shift in Hikaru's demeanor ever since one fateful summer. The Hikaru, it's in quotation marks, that sits beside him now is nothing like his friend, despite his physical appearance and memories remaining exactly the same. Yoshiki knows something is amiss and that Hikaru he once knew is gone. When he brings this up, Hikaru partially transforms into an otherworldly being, threatening to kill Yoshiki if he cannot accept it, while also professing its love for him. Racked with grief and unable to let go of his best friend, Yoshiki struggles to move on with his life as he finds himself getting closer to the new Hikaru. At the same time, strange occurrences begin to plague their village, bringing unsettling chaos. I think this looks fun. I know we have people who like it. I think Jay is a fan, if I remember correctly, in our Discord. But it's got a lot of stuff that the horror, the mystery, supernatural stuff. You're in a small, isolated village. It's definitely something that I'm going to give a go. I know there's been something happened with this at some point. And I don't remember because I'm not super tapped in. But
Not this one. This one was
not this one.
Nah, not this one.
Okay, I thought there was something with like how it was like tagged or whatever. And
if it's tagged like a BL or something like that.
Yeah, and then it was like not, and that I don't know.
I've heard both. And I think somebody mentioned it on the live stream that I did. I'm just gonna go with we'll figure it out when we watch it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm down. It looks pretty good. How was the preview?
So, have you seen Jennifer's Body?
You know what? No.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say,
yeah.
If anyone out there has seen Jennifer's Body, it kind of reminds me of that. A little bit of the body
gist
horror.
of Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Like I remember Megan Fox from when I was younger.
Who doesn't? That and Transformers. Damn. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of Jennifer's Body, which was the movie I liked it. It has some cool in the PV. It has some pretty sick body horror stuff. Definitely looks like maybe it's some form of like shapeshifter or something. Mm-hmm. But the body horror was definitely teased in the PV. This looks great. The ambiance of the PV definitely set it above than what I thought going into it. Games. Yep. So shout to Uma Musume for funding this anime.
Yeah. Shout out.
It looks really good. I was really impressed with what I saw. This looks great. I can't watch. I've never heard anybody say a bad thing about the manga, so I'm really looking forward to this. I think the manga won like an award last year too. So
okay,
we'll see how many like episodes and stuff we get, but this looks really good.
Have you seen Parasite, Pete?
The anime or the movie?
The anime.
No to both.
Okay. Cool.
Gotcha.
I didn't like Parasite. I know it's like a popular anime,
mm-hmm.
But I think that's from like the fact that it was like from 2011 or whatever. Like, don't sue me.
Arrested.
But conceptually, I like the idea. And this like vaguely reminds me of the premise of Parasite. So
no, I would highly recommend if the synopsis did nothing for you, check out the PV. I think because like the promo art for the like the actual art looks good, but I think the PV definitely elevated it. It's definitely 1 hour.
Okay.
If this is like a maybe on your list, I would say go watch the PV. There's a few when I went through all of them that stood out to me, and this was one of them.
Yeah, I guess what I would say is like, one, watch the PV. It's just good to do that. But two, this feels like the type of thing that if it ends up being very good, will be talked about a lot because of its nature as a mystery and like the supernatural elements, right? So you have these things that people will be talking about week to week, kind of like Anne Shirley this season,
Mhm.
and a supernatural
Very
horror.
similar.
Yeah, but I think that'll be that. If you're still hesitant, you'll probably hear about it if you need to watch it. Is my thought.
Yeah, I think in terms of newer properties, this is probably in the top for me. The one that we'll talk about next is also up there, and then Fragrant Flower. I think those are a handful that are like the primetime players for me this season.
Yeah, okay. Fragrant Flower is the one we just talked about. Sorry, I was
Yes.
mixing it up with a different flower one, which like makes me vaguely uncomfortable, just conceptually.
It's not Anohana, I promise.
Yeah, no, we have different things that affect us.
I got you.
We'll talk about it. It's coming up.
Right
But
on.
I'm going to be watching this one for sure.
Hell yeah. Okay. That is the summer Hikaru died. Next one up, I had two winners for when I ran through all the PVs. I had two that stood out to me, and this is one of them. This is City, the animation. Midori is in a bit of a bind. She is in debt, and her landlady is trying to shake her down for her unpaid rent. Her best friend refuses to loan her cash since she is wised up to her tricks. Maybe some bullying would help, or a bit of petty theft. Neither is sustainable. Maybe getting a job would settle things, but working means less time for fun adventures in the big city. So, I mean, that's a quick synopsis. Couple things. This is the same author of Nishijo, which is one of, if not the most beloved comedy in all of anime. Second of all, the PV. I'm already calling it now. This is going to be the best animated show of 2025. The PV blew me away. This is stunning work by Kyoto Animation. Like, I don't know. This might be the best looking show they've ever done, and they did Violet Evergarden. Like, it is stunning what the work that they did in terms of this. I can't wait. This looks such a blast. I love Nishijo. It doesn't look like they're gonna be bullying any. Hey, if it wasn't for them bullying Nano, I would have given it a 10, but they bullied my favorite girl, so it loses points. But City looks great. It looks like a whole bunch of fun. Same kind of like atmosphere as Nishijo, where they'll be walking down the street and then a bomb will blow up or the whole city or something, or they'll stub their toe and they'll like spontaneously combust or something like that. Like, the show is wild and wacky, and that's exactly what I want. Miles, before coming into this, you've never even heard of this show. Any thoughts on City the animation?
So just looking at this is like this looks like it'll be fun before because I want to start with that. Like it looks good. Two, this is just like the most fucking Pete thing I've ever.
No, this is an everybody thing. Everybody loves City.
Okay, we haven't had one episode yet, man. Let's not.
Well, if it's even if it's like 60% of Nishijo, this is gonna be a hit. Like,
yeah. No,
how often is Nishijo referenced in anime? Like, it's brought up a lot.
Yeah,
when the show came out in like 2011.
I think it'll be good. It's just like this scenario. I don't know. It's very you coded in like a fun way. I don't know. The person just sort of like grinding. The animation style is like very you. It's I don't know. It looks like it'll be lovely. It kind of looks like if you took the good parts of Bocchi the Rock and got rid of the annoying parts of Bocchi the Rock.
Oh, that's weird. Is there any annoying parts in Bocchi the Rock? Oh man.
Yep, yeah. Usually when Bocchi's on screen.
Oh, hold that L, Miles.
Yeah, L for.
Everybody likes her, but you.
Like, fuck Bocchi. I gave the show an 8.
That's crazy.
It's just a bit at this point.
That's crazy.
But like, I don't know. Like, I hope she does do petty theft.
Oh, for sure.
Wouldn't that be fun? Like, if we did bullying and petty theft in this, like, I think we need more thievery,
more tax fraud, more petty theft, more Maybe some like personal, like you did it on purpose, like accounting error. I guess that's tax fraud.
Well, it could be like other types of fraud,
Yeah.
like some sort of money laundering or something. I guess that's
Ooh,
probably
yeah.
tax fraud.
That's good. Yeah, but we need a cash business first.
I don't know how white collar crime works, to be frank.
I'm not the biggest criminal. I have dabbled before. I stole gum when I was like 12 at the grocery store once. My bad.
Yeah, I don't have like a lot to say about this other than it looks like it will be funny.
Hell yeah.
And it does look good. What you need to do though, we got to get ready for this again. Okay, this is the second time I'm going to mention this.
I'm ready.
In 1 year's time, Pete, this will not be nominated for best animation.
Do you want to bet? I bet this is nominated for best animation.
You think so?
Yep.
I'll give you nominated.
I'll give you 2-1 odds.
I could see nominated because it's Kyoto Annie.
100%.
And they're like a big thing, right?
They are.
But it's not like Sound Euphonium got nominated for it.
It did not.
And I mean, I don't know. It was probably better than Kaiju number 8.
Bet or not? Are you a coward? Or are you a man?
Yes, that is canonical.
That is canonical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Just for fun,
run it.
Let's make a bet. What do we want to bet?
I'll give you 2-1 odds. You name your price.
Okay, this is where me being a coward comes in.
$5.
Let's do. I was gonna say 20.
Oh shit! You're not a coward. 20 that's more than the average person, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
You want 20 clams?
Yeah. Let's do $20 in a year. I think you might be right, but I think it's fun life is more fun with money on the line.
Thank you. I've been telling people this all the time.
So we'll see if we remember that in 1 year.
Okay, right on. Yeah, but that city looks great. If you're a fan of Nishijo, I think this is an absolute must watch. If you're not a fan of Nishijo, what is wrong with you? If you haven't seen Nishijo, go watch it and then watch City. Miles, what's up next?
I haven't seen Nishijo.
Change that.
I will.
You can watch
next
it with Coop.
Oh yeah,
it's family friendly. Yeah.
Okay. Don't they perform animal violence?
They suplex a deer, but that's funny.
Yeah, I don't like Coop getting in a head.
Oh my god, he's got to learn eventually. I watched professional wrestling when I was like 3, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, Coop's not watching it.
So with you in the rain, tell me about it, Miles.
Yeah, with you in the rain. During a rainy day, a woman comes across a strange animal waiting by the side of the road, pleading to be taken in. The creature offers the woman an umbrella in an attempt to show off its appeal. Intrigued by its clever nature, she brings the dog-like creature home and thus begins their life together. I sort of picked this because it I don't know. I thought you might enjoy it.
Oh
I think
my god, yes.
Okay. I don't know if you had like seen it before, but it was pretty far down the list. But did you watch the preview for this?
They did a very unique PV for this show. They don't speak the entire time. It's just the ambiance of the rain and the music. I thought that was so well done.
Yeah, I just like skimmed through it real quick. I like that because this feels like an atmospheric anime to
100%.
me. Like I don't know what it'll be like, but like it just sort of feels like something that it'll be like quote unquote mood. You know what I mean? Like walking mildly somberly in the rain, but with someone like your pet or someone you care about or whatever. And it's like still pretty despite the fact that it's raining. And that is just like that bittersweet, that's maybe not the exact right word, but like, that sort of blend of sorrow and hope and everything you can get from certain situations. And I think it'll be fun. Also, the little raccoon thing is
cute. It's a tanuki, I think.
Is it? Okay. The only reason I thought it wasn't is she says dog-like creature, and like I figured if it was a tanuki, which it does look like, they would just say
I think the leaf
tanuki
on the head is like the symbolization of the tanuki.
Yeah, well, I know this specifically from Mario and Apocalypse Hotel, so maybe it is a tanuki and they just want that to be a plot twist, and that's why they're not saying
they
it.
never mention it's a tanuki the entire time, but it's like clearly a tanuki, but they never say it. That'd be funny. This is you nailed it. This is a me show. I really hope it's not sad. So there is a manga that's something similar to this where like the main character, her like daughter dies and then meets a tanuki, and then the tanuki acts like her daughter. and I was like, oh, that'd be super
Oh,
heavy. I
that sounds.
don't want to watch that.
Oh my
But what I
god, I
do want
don't.
to watch
Yeah.
is a grown woman and her pet tanuki do fun stuff, which I don't know if it's gonna be fun, but I think they're definitely gonna vibe with each other. This looks like a pure slice of life, and I hope it sticks to that. And it looks everything I wanted. The PV was really great, just with setting the whole ambiance of the show with with only the sound of the rain and the music. I thought was fantastic. And we'll just wait and see. I don't really know where these type of shows can go. I don't know if it's gonna be like Mushroom Pup, where there's like the underlying message of like having a pet in your life is dope, or if it's going to be just like a lady hanging out with her dog like character. So we will wait and see, but this is a Pete show for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to go to the doesthettanukidie.com and
Oof.
I can let you know. um I assume the offshoot exists, if like does the dog die exists, so surely does the tanuki die exists.
Does the dog like creature
Yeah,
.com?
does the pet die?
I hope it doesn't. I like cute animals.
I don't think it will.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe it will.
It's being done by a studio I've never heard of.
Le Spirit.
Less Spirit.
They do things with cute animals, it looks like.
This looks like,
And then
like
if
their
you scroll-
first real show, though, right?
If you scroll back far enough, they have like a couple of shows.
Oh, they
like
did
How
Miss
Clumsy Are You?
Ueno. Yeah, that show sucked.
Yeah, I know. It for sure sucked. Real show, though.
It is a real show. It just sucks. Yeah.
Kira Kirai has like a fun little preview art. It's a 10-minute short.
Yeah. It looks like they do a lot of like short chibi stuff. And
Okay.
then Miss Ueno-san. So
Okay. Well, maybe this will be just like Miss Ueno.
Maybe this will, hopefully this is more along the lines of this is their studio's like medalist moment, but let's see. The PV looked really good. So I think that they're stepping it up this time around. Maybe they got more time and they can do something else with it, but
Medalist was so good.
it was really good.
Yeah, was that this year? Was that
It was
winter?
the first, it was
Okay.
Was that winter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was winter.
That'll
be, check out our review. Otherwise, okay, so that's With You in the Rain. Next up, this is another just giant shonen property coming out. That's Gachiakuta. Living in the slums of a wealthy town, Rudo and his foster family, Regto, try to coexist with the rest of the town's residents. But Rudo despises the wastefulness of the upper class. Ignoring the warnings from those around him, Rudo regularly rummages through the town's garbage in search of anything useful or valuable to save them from the abyss, a massive hole where anything considered trash is dumped, including people. Rudo's biological father was once such a person, having been thrown to the abyss after he was accused of murder. One day, after running into a mysterious figure on the way home, Rudo returns to find Regto's dying body on the floor. He is immediately found at the scene by the authorities and is charged with murder. No one believes him in his claims for innocence, and he is thrown into the abyss. Instead of dying, however, he finds himself in a strange, foul-smelling place surrounded by monsters made of trash. When Rudo is attacked by said monsters, he is saved by a man named Engine, who reveals himself to be a cleaner, someone who uses special weapons called vital instruments to combat these creatures. In order to get his revenge on the one who killed Regto, Rudo reluctantly becomes a cleaner to fight his way back up out of the abyss. Saw the preview for this one. I think for someone like me and you, Miles, something like Don might be enough. I feel like it's in the same vein of like this battle action shonen that's a little bit gritty. We also are also getting a show called Tongan Anki this season that is kind of the similar vein. Of those three, I would, from what I saw, I would go Dandadan, Gachiakuta, Tongan Anki. I liked the PV for this. It didn't like blow me away, but I know like Stony goes crazy over this. I do like the premise. I think that this is more of like a message about classism, from what I've understand, with like the poor literally living in the slums and the trash, and then the rich people living like in amazing lives without like the notion of acknowledging these like trash people. So I think that there is an underlying message based off what I saw. I could be completely wrong, but it definitely seemed like that was sort of the message that they were trying to send. And what these trash monsters mean, like what all this means, I have no idea. I haven't read a chapter of this one. I know Stony read it, has read it. I think Jay read it. It's a pretty popular manga. I was gonna say the mangaka is a badass. I've seen some of the stuff she does, and like this was created as like it was like her and a graffiti artist came up with the idea of Gachiakuta. So I think it has a lot of interesting things going with it. Bones is at the helm. Sorry, Bones Film is at the helm. It's the same company but a different team. So
they split off.
But like I don't really know what Bones Film. They did Vigilantes this season, which I heard people think it's solid. So Miles, your thoughts on Gachiakuta?
Yeah, God, I don't know. So like I read this, saw it was popular. You were like, oh, come up with shows. And then I was just like, ah, ah. Because like I guess to me, I would love it if it was about classism and everything. Like that would be great.
It kind of like looked like it. It did.
But like I guess like my concern was like he gets thrown into the abyss and then he gets like to fight the garbage monsters to like get out. So like to me, like how are you gonna kill rich people when you're in the abyss with the poor people?
The rich people are also trash monsters.
Are they?
I have no idea.
Because like they are.
Yeah. Metaphorically, yes. I don't know if they are literally trash monsters in this show.
Yeah, I don't know. I was worried that it was going to take like this like classism premise and everything, and then just sort of do a Chainsaw Man with it. It just sort of feels like it's trying to be Chainsaw Man. I don't know. That's sort of the vibe I get from it.
Yeah,
I'll probably give it a go, and either I'll be incorrect about how I think it'll go and I'll like it more, or I'll be correct and it'll be fine. I guess I'm just like a little concerned about it. And it's like, I don't know, it doesn't need to be that, right? Like there's nothing wrong with like an action shonen where you're fighting your way out of hell. Like that's cool. It's just not, maybe I do. Maybe I've talked myself into it. That does sound kind of fun. Yeah. You know what?
Okay.
Color me tentatively excited. I'm not a huge action shonen dude, but the more I look at this PV art, the more I like it. It looks good.
You see like the one where he's like falling?
Oh, that looks good too.
Yeah. I like that a lot. The only thing that scares me, like the character designs, like there's a character that looks exactly like Denkin from Tokyo Revengers. There's a character that looks a lot like Bakugo from My Hero Academia. Like I don't like that character style, but I did like their like outfits that they wear. So I hope that the character design element is pretty sick when it comes to like their outfits.
This is pretty like new shonen character design. Like this engine guy kind of looks like he could be from.
That's Denkin from Tokyo Revengers.
Yeah, that's the show I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was
he's a Tokyo Revengers character.
Yeah. But I think it's a good character design. I like the other ones, and they look relatively unique. It kind of like it almost reminds me a little bit of the character designs in Kaiju number 8, not like the matte finish or something. Like,
the skin colors. Yeah. They don't use. Well, I guess there's some shading in this, but
but there's like less shading.
Yeah, Kaiju number 8 uses 0 shading.
Okay. Yeah, this has like the shadows exist on this, but like, it is still like, I think it's closer to Kaiju number 8 on the scale. Whoever Rio Reaper is feels like she'll be great. So, okay. Yeah, I think I'm tentatively excited here. I don't know enough about it. I could see not liking it and feeling that it's sort of like wasted like some of the world that it's set up, but I shouldn't judge it before I watch it. So let's do that.
Okay. Yeah. I watched the PV. I was like, this is getting an 8. Like that's literally my thoughts. I was like, this looks solid, but like nothing blew me away. And then sort of the premise based off the PV, what I was told didn't really excel me, but like, it doesn't look bad. I just think when we're entering the new, like the big new shonen properties are more likely the ones that get talked about the most. And I think this is going to be one of these newer gen ones that people are going to talk about. So I'm intrigued to see if the adaptation lives up to the hype. But I'm pretty like, I think this is going to be good. That's the camp I'm in.
Yeah, I think I have tentatively joined you in that camp.
Right on.
I'm getting used to it. We'll see if I stay there, but we'll see.
Right on. What we got next?
You know what is bad though?
This show.
Bad Girl, which is our next show. Yutani, a first-year high school student with sharp eyes, large piercing, and flashy two-tone hair, is not a well-known bad girl who everyone makes way for. She's actually a very good girl at heart, and her mind is always full of thoughts of the school's Madonna, Atori Mizutori. Oh my god, these names, they're all rhymey. Wanting to attract the attention of the disciplinary committee chair, Atori Yu decides to quit being an honor student and become a bad delinquent. A school comedy depicting the struggles of a slightly foolish, self-proclaimed delinquent is about to begin. This is based on a 4 coma, and like this premise screams that. I think it could be funny. I don't think it will be funny. But I think the premise has some amount of promise. I think I always like people trying to like act out of character. I know there are examples of things like this where someone's like trying to like be a delinquent, but they like can't do it.
Mm-hmm. And you have like the opposite too, where like someone's trying to be like the good guy and is actually ends up being like the badass.
Yeah, like Grease.
Like Grease.
This is like
Grease reference.
So we'll see how it goes. My issue is that like a lot of times anime gag comedies are just like I just like hope we all learned our lesson from Nokotan. You know what I mean? Like that's what that's actually exactly it. Nokotan has that character where she is a delinquent, but she's like trying to like turn that around or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the opposite of this. This is actually just reverse Nokotan without the deer. And that's actually pretty concerning. Pete, did you watch this preview? Any thoughts here?
Yep, did watch this preview. This is one of the ones where, so this was on my plan to watch to begin with. Then after watching the PV, it wasn't anymore. It looked pretty bad. It looks like it's going to be one of those shows where nothing happens by the end of the 12th episode. And it's going to need to be sustained by its comedy for it to be anything. And based off the PV, I didn't laugh. It does have like a fun premise of like she's trying to be this delinquent girl, but like her earrings are fake. So like she's not actually a badass because she's afraid to get like her ears pierced and stuff like that. So like those type of jokes I think on paper right now are funny, but can you make 12 episodes of 20 some minutes per episode and keep me around? And that's where I don't think that this show is going to do anything for me. I'm still debating if I'm either going to watch it or just skip it to begin with, because I have a feeling that if I do watch this show, I'll probably drop it. I've also heard it's very Yuri baity.
Yeah. We read the premise.
Yeah, 100%. Just needs to be addressed in case somebody didn't catch that.
Okay, yeah. The premise is actually just Yuri bait.
100%.
Yeah, in this sort of weird, like vaguely asexual way that cute girls doing cute things shows like often are. Where I don't know, it's weird. It's why it's not my favorite genre, to be perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
They don't always act like people.
For sure.
Sometimes they do, right? Like Yuru Camp and stuff is good at that, but like there's a lot of that where they're like all clearly in love with each other, but it will be never mentioned, and no one's actually in love with anyone, and nothing will, it's like, okay. I think that's a pretty quick one, but to me it sort of seems like something that I'll be able to find out in exactly one episode if I care to watch it anymore or not. And I kind of like things like that. I can't imagine there's much of like a hook here or anything. It's not going to trick you into thinking it's going to be good or bad. It will either be good or bad.
True.
And not even in the way that I normally say that. I mean, where it's like, I don't know, if something is like a more complicated plot or whatever, there's always like the promise that it will pay off, even is that like slowly becomes less and less likely as like time increases, right?
Sure.
I guess it's something like, to do a show that we're like split on currently airing, like To Be Hero X, right? Where I have like no faith in it coming together, and you have faith in coming together. Like currently you're like probably right, but like every week the odds start shifting to my side.
Have you started the Queen arc yet, though?
No, is it good?
Banger. Because I did not like Lucky Cyan at all. I thought that arc was super weak.
I don't know. The show, side note, a little side tangent on 2B Hero X. That's airing next season. It's got so many problems, but like, frankly, it just looks so fucking good that I can forgive a lot of them. So
I'm gonna give it the best. If it doesn't stick the landing, I'll give it the score that it deserves. But real quick, going back to Bad Girl.
Yes.
For people who have seen the show, and this is not Bocchi the Rock, if anyone has seen Hitori Bocchi, it kind of reminds me of the vibes a little bit. I did like that show quite a bit, but I think that had another message behind it than just being kind of funny. So I'm hoping Bad Girl has something else other than just the comedy part of it, where I can get involved with it. But this is a show where if like I'm not having fun after like the first episode, it's getting dropped.
Yeah, I think that's super fair.
Yeah, anything else with this? Okay, cool.
That's what she kind of looks like color palette hair swapped G Cucks girl. Anyways, let's
next up is There is no freaking way I'll be your lover unless an actual Yuri. Reniko is leaving her awkward and lonely junior high school life behind, determined to become a normal girl with normal friends in high school. Glamorous, confident Mai is Renako's total opposite. Wealthy, outgoing, and a literal fashion model. Against the odds, the two girls form an immediate connection. Reniko thinks she may have found the best friend of her dreams until Mai's romantic confession sends her into a tailspin. Reniko wants to prove to Mai that being best friends forever is better than being girlfriends. But Mai is dead set on convincing Reniko that they are destined to be lovers. Let the games begin. Couple things. Shout out to our Yuri connoisseur Veronica, who has read this. And from what it seems like is this show might be a little messy and a little silly and a little fun, but once you get the entire package together, it's a good time. I think by the end of it, it turns into a harem, which I don't normally enjoy, but when it comes to Yuri, I'm all for it. So I'm really intrigued to see how that gets developed in the show. I don't think that this is going to be anything worth of note, but I think that this is going to be 12 episodes of a good time. Miles, what's your thoughts on There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless
I mean, looking at the cover, right? Like that's just harem vibes all over like the PV.
Yep.
I don't know if it will be or not. Neither it nor the manga. I'm going to go ahead and preemptively say nor the light novel.
I think Veronica said it was, so I'll take her. Her word is bond. Okay. Like her word is literally law in Yuri court. So
okay, yeah. So maybe it is. I mean, it looks like it is.
Yeah, 100%.
It looks like it'll be fun. I recently read a collection of essays called By Your Side by Erica Friedman, which like goes over the history of Yuri and all of that, and I learned a lot from it, which was interesting and informative because I don't know. It's like I started watching anime. I don't know. Let's say a decade ago or whatever, and like you don't have a lot. And seriously, watching it even less long ago than that, but there's a lot of like context and stuff that goes into not just Yuri, but it's what I've read the history of recently, where I'm excited to like watch something where I might be able to pick up on like more tropes and stuff that I wasn't aware of, more references to things. That's a really niche thing. I guess the majority of our audience isn't going to be able to do that.
True.
Now that I consider that, but it is why I'm excited to watch it. I don't know if I will like it or not. It just, I don't know. It seems like a little. I don't like it.
It reminds me of if 100 Girlfriends was a Yuri.
Yeah, and
you don't like 100 Girlfriends.
I'm known to like Yuri, and I'm known to hate 100 Girlfriends.
Yep.
Now, will this have that vice principal scene in it? No, it won't.
Unless
unless
this whole show is unless
unless This is just like the 5 remaining women in town that don't fall in love with Rentaro.
That'd be such a genius plot.
Just like they all just get together. Um, hire me, whoever wrote 100 Girlfriends for your spinoff manga.
Genius.
And but yeah, I guess it sort of like reminds me of that. Like, I don't know. I don't like it when like this middle girl is like panicking and doesn't seem like she's enjoying the fact that she's getting all this attention. We'll see how it goes. I don't like that though. It's not a thing I like in any sort of, I don't. I'm a prude.
Oh, couldn't tell.
It's just but it could be fun, and I'll watch it.
Whenever they kiss on screen, you always go yucky.
Yeah, that's
gross.
That's God. You know what on-screen kiss I did do that for? God, it was Taiga. No, Taiga and Ryuji.
Second Toradora. Let's go. That kiss was great.
God, I don't know. They used a lot of tongue for a first kiss.
They were waiting for that moment for a really long time.
Yeah, it's true. I get it. They also probably should have gotten out of the river and tried not to die, but whatever.
When in Rome, right?
Yeah, no, they made it. That's okay. I guess they got to keep each other warm. But yeah, I think this will be fun. It looks like it's going to be like pretty tropey, which I enjoy. I enjoy tropey things generally. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see.
Right on. Yep. I'll watch it. I'm expecting this to be in the 6 to 7 range. If anything higher than that, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
I really like the character designs on this.
Yeah, they're cute.
I do want to say, yeah. They do a good job. Everyone looks like expressive and everything. I'll just have to get the tone of it once it starts airing.
Mm-hmm.
So this feels like a high dive show. Do we know where it's airing?
Great question. I don't know. It does seem like a high dive show, though, for sure.
Doesn't it seem like a high dive show?
Like Whisper Me a Love Song was on High Dive, and yeah, it reminds me a lot of Whisper Me a Love Song. So
this doesn't remind me of that, because this feels a lot more hectic and
you know what was hectic about Whisper Me a Love Song? The production issues.
Yeah, so true.
Let's go.
This is actually just a documentary of the production of Whisper Me a Love Song.
If Shirobako was a Yuri, I would love that.
Yeah, God, me too. Maybe I'd finally watch it.
You would love I don't think you would like Shirobako.
I get it being a toss-up. It's yeah.
If it was 12 episodes, I think you would like Shirobako.
Yep. No, I have not watched it because I don't think I could do 24 episodes.
I think I know what you're going with. All right,
that is okay. Detectives these days are crazy. This also feels like a high dive show.
This feels like you gotta go on 9 anime to watch it.
It's by Linden Films.
Oh, they make everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll show up somewhere. They have like 2 whole anime this season. They
make like 4 anime a season.
Yeah, and some of them are even good.
Some of them are.
I mean, hey, they did Insomniacs After School. Nagumo Kiichiro was a genius high school detective. No case was complex enough for him. What happens to genius detectives when they get older? Now 35. With bad hips, running a failing detective agency with no cases to solve and struggling to pay the rent, he's at a dead end. In comes a high school girl in his office who says she wants to work with him. With her help, will the out-of-touch, old-fashioned Nagumo get back the fire of his youth? As someone who is 33 and has a bad back, I just feel like there's a chance that I relate to this
because of the back issues.
I've had back issues since I was a teenager, and let me tell you, hasn't gotten any better.
Nope.
But we just ignore them and hope they go away one day.
Heat packs, ice packs. Yeah,
and they haven't. So I don't know. I think it could be fun. I like episodic comedy mystery things. I think those can be good. I like a few concepts on this. I like the idea of one of these like high school prodigy characters, which are so common in anime, like any given profession, right? you have an anime about a tax collector who goes to another world and like teaches them about taxes or something, and he uses that to institute slavery or whatever isekai protagonists do. And
I was wondering
they're
where
a
you were going with
teenager.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. They're always teenagers is the point. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yep.
like, and so I like the idea of seeing like one of those people like aged up. I think that could be kind of fun. Kind of gives me vaguely isekai Oji-san vibes, just in the vaguest of sense.
Sure.
If that makes sense. And then I like the idea of just a chaotic gremlin girl showing up and causing chaos in this guy's life.
Mhm.
Do you watch the PV for this? Tell me it's not funny.
Nope. I'll be honest with you. Didn't hear about this until you put this on the list.
Okay.
It reminds me of something like maybe like Mob Psycho-ish a little bit with like the Reagan and Mob, but more along the lines of the relationship in like Hinamatsuri. It kind of gives me
Yeah. Okay.
a little bit of those vibes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like the
like,
girl's like doing
yeah.
something. It looks like she's like casting a spell or something in the PV.
I believe she's breaking a window.
Oh, in the PVR, it looks like she's like casting like, you know how like Magneto stops bullets? It kind of looks like she's like,
okay. Sorry, I was looking at like the animated one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She kind of looks like she's Magneto stopping bullets. Or
what if she's Magneto?
let me see. Does this have like a suit?
Okay, wait, actually it just made me laugh. PV, I was watching the video, PV. Sorry. I can't describe the scene. It's actually insane. It's like like going back and forth between him with his shirt on and off, and then it's funny.
Okay, how about this?
He's ripped. The detective is ripped.
Is it better than the detective is already dead?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I'll watch at least an episode.
I feel comfortable making that guess.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun. The manga has a decent score. I think the manga is like a 7.5. So yeah, I mean, was not on my radar, but if it has like a silliness to like a, like a Mob Reagan dynamic, that dude in Hinamatsuri dynamic, something like that, or even like a salad bowl of eccentrics, something along those lines. Yeah, I'll give this 1 to 3 episodes. This seems pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that description. I feel like it's sort of like if you had like the Walmart versions of Mob Psycho and Hinamatsuri, and they like had a baby, but that baby was adopted by like Target.
Yeah. You know what the big issue for me right now on this first impressions, like looking at the PV looks terrible. Like this art looks trash. It looks like a generic isekai.
And it's not an isekai.
It's not, but it looks like it. Oh my god! Do you see the PV art? Like, if you're on, you see like the people that are like working out.
Yes,
dude, that's Mob Psych. That's the Body Improvement Club.
Okay, so this is what was making me laugh. It was like him just like doing these poses, and his shirt was just like flying off every time. It was funny. Yeah. I don't,
I'll give this 3 episodes.
I don't know how this guy has bad hips and he's this ripped.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I won't find it relatable.
Maybe he literally can't eat, and so his muscles show because he can't eat. But this looks pretty solid. Yeah, I'm gonna add this to my plan to watch. I'll give this 3 episodes. You got any other thoughts on this one?
No, I'm excited to give it a go. It looks to me like it might. Again, I'm trying to find some like dark horses and stuff, and this feels like it could be one of them.
Yeah, I would agree.
Who knows? But I think it has a good chance of being like a solid 7 to 8 show that people didn't see coming, that they enjoy watching every week.
We take those, and if it's anything like Isekai Oji-san in that vein, I'm a huge fan. So, next up is there's a couple synonyms for this one. I'm using April showers bring May flowers, because I think the synonym of the other one is a banquet for or a bouquet for an ugly girl is not the best title. So I'm going to go with April showers bring Mayflower. Despite what the meaning of her name would suggest, Hana Tabata bears no resemblance to a flower. Her eyes are too small and her limbs are too far from slender. She is in fact, even in quotation marks, ugly. And such knows that cute things and fairy tale romances are out of her reach. Yet this does not stop her from daydreaming every morning as she tends to the school's beautiful flower bed. And that contrasts her appearance. One day, a casual encounter puts Tabata in contact with her classmate Ueno, who is well known for being both handsome and extremely kind. Why would such a popular student associate with a background character like her? Tabata is in an unfathomable situation, but can Ueno show her that looks aren't everything? I watched the PV for this one, and it does look like, so it is a rom-com. So it makes me think that there's not going to be touching on some subjects, which I wish that they kind of would. So we shall see how that gets played out, because the main lead is, bigger than the other girls in other anime. She's not as attractive as some of the other girls in the other anime. And it'd be interesting to see how they address that, because in the PV, she's a very girly girl. And I think like the idea of like her persona or how she looks doesn't match the tone of being a girly girl. And so that way she like kind of hides it. So I hope this is one of these things where like,
Be fun.
yeah, we going back to Fragrant Flower, more along the lines of just like expressing who you are, regardless of how you look, and the things that you're interested in is what's most important. And then we'll see how the dynamic between the good looking guy is. But based off of, even though this says it's a rom-com, the PV really made it seem like he was just friends with her. Like I didn't get any like sparks when I watched it. So I think, this is right up my alley. I hope it's better than the other manga that I read that had something similar premise to this. So I'm looking forward to this. Miles, your thoughts on April Showers Bring May Flowers?
Stuff like this always makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know. I just like, because like one, like, okay, April Showers Bring May Flowers, great name. I mean, the Japanese is okay for an ugly girl. That's the name.
I don't like that, because she's not even ugly. She's just like she's just a nerdy girl. Who cares?
And that's like, and that I don't know. That's why like I don't know. I just like hope it doesn't. It's tough because like I just don't know if I could watch this. Because if like any of the plot like revolves around her being like ugly and like getting bullied and stuff for that, I think it would just make, even if like this fucking Prince Charming dude is super nice to her and it all works out, like it'll still just make me like really uncomfortable. It's just something that I am like bad with, I guess, is like the socially mean-spirited like thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't have the drama tag, so I don't think it's going to be like a bullying situation, that type of thing. But I don't really like the fact that they just like address her as like an ugly girl, where it's just like she looks perfectly normal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like her own perception.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like maybe she isn't. We'll see. I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, this stuff always like just, it's not even like cringing. It's just like, I just like can't watch.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, I just like don't want anything bad to happen to her, and I want her to be happy and everything. But like,
I mean, I have that with anime. Like you already know. It's just like it's even for somebody else. It's just like this is whatever, and to me, it's just like you need to shut this off immediately.
Yeah, I got better reasoning.
Well, people. I feel like everybody dealt with like self-esteem issues in high school. Like it's not like it's, but like you don't also want to. Maybe you got over that. And you don't want to revisit it, type of thing.
Yeah, that's not even. Oh God, I don't. You know what I genuinely think is like. I think it's because I'm a dad now that like stuff like this, I like sub in. Like my child when he's older,
like you never want Cooper to experience something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I just don't like, I think it just makes things like this where like harder to like digest than it used to be.
Because like you're going to have the birds and the bees conversation, but you're not guaranteed to have a conversation about something whatever super.
Yeah,
serious.
You know what I mean. I don't want Coop to have to come home and be like, I think I'm ugly and people don't like me and I don't like myself and all.
How do you have that conversation?
Like and so like I just like I feel bad all around for like the whole thing, and like maybe it's really uplifting. I don't know. Maybe maybe this will be good immersion therapy. It's just like, and I don't know if it's like a translation thing or whatever, but it's just like how ugly is thrown around in this makes me uncomfortable.
Makes me uncomfortable too.
But it does say it in quotation marks. So maybe it's like how she views herself.
Maybe.
And part of it is like getting over that view of herself and like finding that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably watch this just to see how I handle it and how it is. I am very curious what this like traditionally cute girl does in the plot. If you look
Oh
at the manga
yeah.
art, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it for sure, but yeah, I definitely have some things. Maybe not. I like. I know where you're coming from. It's not the same level, but I also like hate seeing that in my media. So
Yeah, I can deal with it and like I don't know, like she's all that,
yeah.
right? Where it's like the world's most attractive woman and people are bullying her. And it's like, okay, well, that's not real.
You take her
Like,
glasses off, and no, she was hot
yeah,
the whole
exactly.
time.
Where as opposed to this, where it's just like a normal girl who might have self-esteem issues, and she's not like ugly or anything. She's just not, whoever the actress and She's All That was.
Rachel Lee
And
Cook,
who,
Minnesota's own.
yeah, and who is, you know what I mean? Um, God, she's from Minnesota.
Rachel Lee Cook is. Yep.
Yeah, God, so like, I loved her in Psych. Uh, but like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It'll be nice. It kind of reminds me of, oh God,
You'll say it because I'm thinking it too.
what are you thinking?
No, you say it first.
Okay, I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to be the same. I'm thinking Skip and Loafer.
Oh, I was thinking Dangerous in My Heart. But
Oh
like
my God,
but like the
no.
role reversal.
Oh yeah, but okay, but she's not gonna want to kill people, is she?
We'll find out. We'll find
Um,
out.
Yeah, I guess if you like, I do think it's Dangerous in My Heart. Maybe if you cut out the first like 3 episodes, which I think really harm my enjoyment of Dangerous in My Heart,
Mhm.
and I just can't get over it. That's a me thing, not a Dangerous in My Heart thing. But yeah, I guess so. I was thinking more like, I don't know how much nuance. There's a lot of nuance in Skip and Loafer, right? With like Shima appearing to be this like perfect, happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
I
Mitsumi
do. It's just it's hard because I'm a manga reader. So like
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from as an anime watcher, but not as a manga reader. So
Yeah, well, so like, okay, what I guess what I'm thinking, because I understand subtext sometimes, and like, I don't think this guy is going to have the level of nuance that Shima has,
Yep.
where like Shima has issues, and he's not the front that he portrays, and everything, and then like, no one would ever call Mitsumi like ugly, but also she does have some of those self-esteem issues when comparing herself to
there's a whole thing with it.
Yeah, with the
The
two
red
other
hair
girls,
girl and the blonde hair
and
girl.
the blonde girl, yeah. And then the red hair girl has the same thing when comparing herself.
Oh, that's her whole entire arc. Yeah.
Yeah, Oliver.
Yeah,
Can't
she's
remember her
great.
name.
She's incredible.
Yeah. But that was like one of the times me saying like Mean Girl was best girl paid off on like the My Happy Marriage example.
Mika. Her name's Mika.
Mika, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Cause like looking at the Sumeri character, don't you just think she's gonna be evil? I think she's gonna be evil. I hope she's not.
Yeah, it's like if they had the drama tag, I would feel more inclined to think that this is going to be something outside of a rom-com, but like I also don't know. So I feel like we're probably going to get something. I just don't want, because I read a manga that was something similar to this, but it was more along the lines of like the girl had like a weight issue and they addressed it really well, but then at the end of it, they had to include a character that had a fat fetish. And I was like, oh, this is what you were going with the whole time. And it really took me out of it. So I hope that this show doesn't do something like that. I'm pretty sure the mangaka is a woman. So I think we'll be at least okay. I hope. Fingers crossed. I have more trust in a woman mangaka than a man in this situation.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, any parting words?
Yeah. No, we'll see. I don't know. I hope it's nice. I hope I have a good time watching.
The main girl is Sayori Hayami, so Gotta watch it for her. That's like Rin from Pseudo Harem.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. So it's gonna your forger. No, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay, we got it. Yeah. Okay, I got there.
Absolute banger. She should have won voice actress of the year last year, but
wait, she's Yumiko Javine, which is what range?
Yeah, she's elite. She's elite
because Yumiko is insane. I don't think she's Ren though.
Oh my god,
but she is Yor.
She's Yor. I'm thinking of somebody. I swear it was her.
She does Shinobu. She is in Oriimo.
Yeah, she's Ren. Yeah, I knew I was.
I just don't see Ren on the character list.
I just went to Pseudo Harem and she definitely says that she's Ren.
Okay.
Maybe she's like really far down when it's maybe her.
Yeah, she's in like a bunch of giant things and large characters with multiple roles. So she's in like everything.
Yeah, she's elite. She's like Hana Kanazawa level for me. Like I think she's that good.
Oh my god.
All right, let's talk about a show that I hate. Let's talk about a show that I hate.
Oh. Are you Yeah?
Yeah. What's that show, Miles?
Wait, what? Sorry, I want to make sure I got the order correct. Okay, wait, this is is this okay, is it a bit?
It's Futari Solo Camp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The show sucks. Have I not told you that I read the manga and I hate it?
No.
I've mentioned this multiple times in Discord. By the way, join the Discord. Links to that in the description.
Yeah, you might have missed it, man. I miss things. You know me. I'm playing.
I hate Futari Solo Camp, but
okay.
We're talking about Futari Solo Camp. Read the synopsis, please.
Yeah, let me do the synopsis really quick. Man, the only reason this is on this list is because I thought you'd like it.
I'm watching it. I'm hate watching all 12 episodes.
Okay, cool. Well, you can explain to me why this is bad.
For sure.
The story centers around Gin Kinokura, a devoted solo camper who treasures his solitude. During one of his usual camping trips, he unexpectedly crosses path with Shizuku Kusano, a total camping novice. What starts as an accidental encounter evolves into an unusual partnership as the two embark on what can only be described as solo camping for two. Pete, why is this bad?
A couple things. Maid dude, 34. That's sick. Main girl, 20. Not a big fan. They also
that's pretty borderline.
They also overly, at least in the manga, they overly sexualize her. And I do think that they can change this in the anime, which would be great. So in their first experience or their first encounter, of course she doesn't have pants on. So she's wearing a picnic blanket. And so that way you can still see her underwear a little bit and stuff like that. And it sets up scenes to kind of sexualize her, which was really weird for a camping show. There's just the whole thing just felt like it had potential to be a great adult camping show, but it's too much focused on trying to put her in situations where he's a little awkward because he's I don't know, it's always that idea that I can maybe sleep with her, but I'm not going to because I want to camp. But also there's this girl at my campsite the whole time. And to me, it takes away from the camping aspect that laid back camp does. And it's more of let's put these two in situations where they probably should hook up, but then never do. But I think they probably do towards the end. I didn't make it that far in the manga. I legit think the manga is absolutely terrible.
It doesn't even have a romance tag.
I'm just it'd be dumb if it didn't, right?
I was gonna say camping, an activity where notoriously no one has ever had sex.
Nobody.
Look, I think I remember this now that you would not like this, and I just didn't connect it that it was this thing because on paper this feels very you, right? You got the camping, the slice of life, the
best show ever made for me.
Yeah.
Romance, 34-year-old dude, hot girl, camping, and it's just let's fuck it up. But in the bad way, not the cool way.
Yeah. That's okay, so did you watch the PV for this?
Yes.
Okay. So watching it I don't know, it looks fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
And it doesn't seem like they're gonna overly sexualize her.
God, I hope
a ton.
So. There's literally a scene where she's at Menards or something or Lowe's, and she's like bending down to grab something, and they show her underwear like panty lines in her jeans. And it's like,
oh my god, is that frame?
That's
that
the frame. Yeah.
The one with like, okay, and
her vagina, like right there.
Her entire
right there, right in front of your face.
Yeah, like form fitted the jeans, suctioned up. That's what this is from.
They air sucked her jeans before she bent down. Like this is that scene. Yeah, this show sucks.
Okay.
And I will watch all of it and give it a 4. I feel like.
Okay, now I wanna ask. They do this, right? They do the show. They take away the unnecessary sexual nature of it. They take that time. They focus it a little bit more on the camping. What do you give the show, Pete?
7 maybe. I think
I
think it depends on a lot, because like what makes Laid Back Camp so great is like not only are like the characters and cast are fun, but like the background art is stunning. The OST,
this is fine.
The OST is
fine.
great. Like Laid Back Camp does like a great job at like setting the mood for the type of show it is. I hope I get something like that with this, but like the PV was very whatever, and like knowing that what they do with her character in the manga just scares me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would love if that scene got animated just for the surrealness of that manga frame, because I've seen people post it a few times, and I don't know what I thought it was from. Not Futari solo camp.
Nope. Because why would you?
Yeah,
it's really dumb.
Yeah, I thought it would have been from like, I don't know, some harem or something. Okie doke.
Shall we move on?
I did not know you hated this though. This was surprising to me.
I don't like it.
I apologize.
And Cosette keeps bullying me to watch it, and I don't know why, because I keep telling her that it's bad, and I'm pretty sure she read it and she also thinks it's bad, but she talks about it more than I do. So we'll check it.
Okay, could it be a thing where like, because I do this to you sometimes too, where like I don't like something, but you don't like it slightly more than me.
Oh sure. So you could see, and then I'll be like, it. Because Miles is all Miles is like, this show, when we broke it down, the intricacies of the characters didn't mesh with the 1800 Victorian essence that I was looking for. And then me is just like, yo, this show fucking sucked. Whoever wrote this could suck my dick. The duality of us. Love it.
It's all valid.
It is all valid. Both critiques are the same. Yeah. People hold us in high regards for different reasons. Miles a little bit more eloquent and literate. Me a little bit more harsh and immature.
I only come off as eloquent because Trent edits out all my ums.
Shout out to Trent. Shout out to editor Trent. All right, let's move on to this next show. This was one that I didn't have it on my radar. I watched the PV and it changed what I thought of it. And
everything.
That's Nyaight of the Living Cat. A virus spreads across the world, transforming all humankind into wild, slavering, furry beasts. Cats, to be precise. Those few survivors who remain human take refuge in dark corners of the earth as they fight back against the feline horde. Kunagi, a man with no memory of this past yet deep knowledge of cats, struggles to hold on with only his wits and the will to survive. Yet the virus transmits merely through cuddles. And Kunagi finds Kitty so hard to resist. Is the willpower strong enough to withstand the hair-raising catastrophe? So I watched the PV. I thought it was hilarious. Like the fact that like the cats don't attack the humans. Like they'll like come up and like rub their leg. And then if you cuddle with the cats, you turn into a cat. So instead of fighting back, it's like fighting the urge to pet a cat, which is tough. So I get it. It had a lot of like a comedy essence of like a Zom 100 where you're in the setting of like the zombie apocalypse, but it still was funny. This seems like a more funny version of Zom 100. I was a huge fan of what I saw from the PV. I think the concept is hilarious. I don't know where it would go, but honestly, turning into a cat doesn't seem that bad. Miles, what's your thought on Nyaight of the Living Cat?
So remember when we were talking about a show like literally an hour ago at most?
No idea.
About how it has one joke. we were like, oh, I'm worried this show will have one joke. We just talked about it. I can't remember what it is.
Is it Bad Girl? This is not even a bit. I don't remember.
Yeah.
What did we run through? City?
It was Bad Girl.
Oh, it was Bad Girl. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's okay. It was Bad Girl. This also
not even kidding. Just like when I say like I forget what I eat for lunch, I'm not joking. Like I don't remember what we talked about.
We were both not particularly excited about Bad Girl. This feels like it will also have one joke, and that joke is that cats are cute and fun to cuddle with.
They are though.
As an owner of 3 cats,
I was gonna say.
I understand. I would be a cat immediately. I think this is. I mean, I like OLM, like a very good amount. Yeah.
Oh shit! That just raised my socks even higher.
I guess my concern is just like, what the fuck will happen in this?
I mean, literally just think of it as a zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies, they're cats.
Okay. But the thing is, like, zombies can kill you.
But zombies can turn you into zombies.
Yes. But cats cannot turn you into cats.
In this world, they can.
You turn you into a cat.
That is technically true, which is the best form of being correct.
So, well, no, I think this is an important distinction. I'm not trying to be pedantic.
No. I'm also playing with the bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because, like, I mean, at some point you just don't pet the cats, right?
But what if you can't help it?
But how many times can that possibly happen?
More than once.
I hope they play up like toxoplasmosis.
Me too.
Which is, do you know what that is?
Of course, but why don't you explain what it is?
Okay, so it is a parasite that cats have, and the main thing is like, there's some like theories that it causes like the crazy cat lady thing or whatever. It makes people like cats more. Now, I think a lot of that is actually pretty disproven on its effects on people.
Have I ever told you somebody threw a cat at me once?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. True story.
Okay. But it does make like rats and mice and stuff calmer around cats. It's like, so like the cats have like a sort of, they have like a symbiotic relationship with this parasite. So like it'll make their prey like them more. It's also why like pregnant women aren't allowed to change litter boxes or whatever.
I did not know that.
Okay. So there's like a belief that it makes people like cats more, and so like you just sort of like fall into the spiral of liking cats. I don't believe that is true. However, I think it would be a fun thing to play up in this, where petting a cat has such like a negative consequence.
Sure.
So like you can get to like a critical mass of it.
Like the more you're exposed to it, the harder it is to resist.
Exactly.
I like that.
And that could add some sort of stakes to it. I'm not like an expert on this, so I don't know exactly how it works, but like I do know that's like the belief about it, though I do think it's sort of apocryphal. But I think it would be a fun thing to play with in this setting, you know, because like who cares if it's a realistic depiction of the disease? People turn into cats, like whatever.
Sure. Well, okay. I mean, based on what you said, if they incorporate that would be an awesome, like, you know, how ridiculous this sounds, but then, you know, we actually have maybe a real world twist to it to make it interesting. I don't know if you saw the PV, but it looked really good, and it just looks really fun. I like people petting cats and turning into
cats. So infection of T. gondii, which is toxoplasmosis, has been shown to alter the behavior of mice and rats in ways thought to increase the rodent's chances of being preyed upon by cats. So like, I don't know. I think that's so cool, right? Cool. Like such a neat little relationship the cats have with this. So we'll see.
All right. What we got next?
We have Hotel Inhumans. This is by Studio Bridge. I only bring this up because I think there's like another. They're also doing Bad Girl. And I don't think they've really done anything else besides that. There's like a farm show they did that maybe someone watched, and one season of Fairy Tale, it looks like. At this hotel, our esteemed guests are assassins. A premier hotel offers more than luxury. It meets unique requirements, exquisite dining, ultimate relaxation, enthralling entertainment, and even the latest in weapon procurement, guaranteed identity concealment, and seamless corpse disposal. On the line between life and death, two concierges, Namuro and Sada, who never say no, are ready to grant every assassin's wish. Get ready for the striking drama of the Killing Hotel. There's a reason that I brought this up, and it's not because I think this will be good. It is because you'll remember from our last season's preview, I brought up Apocalypse Hotel because I wanted to talk about the phenomena of these vaguely supernatural hotels that keep getting brought into anime. And this is another one. And I'm just so curious about this. If anyone knows why this is happening, please let me know. This kind of feels like comedy anime John Wick. What are your thoughts?
I watched the PV and it's 100% John Wick. I don't even know if it's comedy. I think it's just like, what if the Continental was not a sacred ground where like you could kill people at the Continental like you did in John Wick? And that's kind of the vibe I got. The PV looked okay. I love John Wick, so I will watch this, but it needs something else to it, I would say, for it to be like really good. Like if it's just like a battle royale, I don't know how much longer how much I will watch it, but I love the design of the main girl. I also think that the two concierge people in this are also like assassins or some form of like death machine. So it looks I would say it looks okay. It's not super high on my list, but it is on my list.
Yeah, I think it looks like it's worth watching to see if it's got good Sakuga and it's like sort of a fun action show. I sort of imagine that boat scene in Spy Family, but like maybe the assassins will kill people.
Maybe Yor kills people in Spy Family
on screen.
Yep, she does on screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not that far.
So I was like, in the first season, she stabs somebody through the head with her spike thing. So
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Yor's a badass.
Yeah, she is. I'm not going to deny that. I just don't remember seeing her kill anyone on screen. I remember it being heavily applied, but whatever. Yeah, I think this will be interesting. I think is this a safe space?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I really like John Wick. I think they kind of went a little too crazy with the Continental bullshit.
I think it's silly to not assume a bunch of assassins would probably kill somebody there.
I don't know. Like everyone was an assassin by the end of the series. It was like every hotel was a secret assassin hotel. It was just a lot. There were like 74 John Wicks out there. It was none of them were John Wick, but it got a little crazy there. But I think doing it in like an anime style that's probably going to be hammed up anyway sort of saves it from jumping the shark a little bit because it's starting mid-air doing a 360 over a shark, right?
Yep.
So like we know what's supposed to happen here. I'll give it a go. It's just one of those shows that it's sort of a coin flip if I'll drop it or give it a 7, you know?
Yeah. Hotel show, maybe this is great. Who knows? But based off what I saw from the PV, I was very just like whatever about it.
Yeah. Well, we can't get greedy and get two amazing hotel shows back to back, right?
Right. Looks good though. I'll check it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if I dropped this like 3 episodes in. All right, moving on to our last show. So of all the PVs I watched like 22 of them. This was the number one PV that I watched. It is the most excited I am for a new show, and it wasn't necessarily going to be until I watched the PV, and that's Leviathan. Set in a war-torn re-imaging of 1914, Leviathan follows Alec, a future prince of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and Darren Sharp. Isn't that like a football player?
Kind of.
It sounds familiar, right?
Sharper, right?
Sharper. Oh, he's bad guy.
Yeah,
he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. Yep. He's a really bad person. Yeah. Okay. And Darren Sharp, no relation to Darren Sharper, a daring young girl disguised as a boy to serve in the British Air Force. when fate throws them together aboard the Leviathan, a massive living airship made from genetically engineered creatures, they embark on a world-changing adventure that will challenge everything they know about war, loyalty, and identity. The thing that absolutely blew me away when I watched the PV was the music, and it's being done by Joe Hisashi, who does all of Studio Ghibli's music.
Okay.
And the setting, the ambiance, the fantasy of this world looks incredible. I don't really know how to describe it because it's set like World War One. Like it's like that setting.
Mhm.
But there's like an element of like sci-fi or like it's like fantastical. It's not necessarily fantasy, but it's like it's the Leviathan is something the size of New York City or something like that. Like it's so big that like it changes the world that it is in like a setting of World War One. And when I watched this PV, Studio Orange, who did Trigun Stampede, Beastars, Land of the Lustrous, like the top tier CG studio in the game making this, it looked incredible. It sounded incredible. This in City, I was blown away by the PVs because the PV art for Leviathan looks ugly as shit, but the PV video looked incredible. I don't know. It's like I know it's different settings, but it has this like realness tone of something that I would like really like that I liked in like Vinland Saga Season 2, Orb, that type of stuff where it has a more grittiness feeling centered around a like realistic time frame. So big fan of what I saw from Leviathan. Miles, your thoughts?
Yeah, okay, sorry. I was trying to look up what the book because this is based off of a Western book, I believe. A young adult book. But like when you type in Leviathan novel, the Thomas Hobbes philosophy work pops up, and I was like, that's not what this is.
Mhm.
So this looks really interesting. I while you were talking, I watched the video preview. The music was amazing, as
Yeah.
you mentioned. I think it kind of looks bad.
See, I think it looks
Um,
great.
I think parts of it look great, but then parts of it also look bad. Um, I I think Orange should stay away from people because the not people things look very good, I think. Like the jellyfish looks great. The Leviathan itself, the giant flying whale, looks
I
great.
forgot they use giant jellyfish as like attack planes or something. It looks like.
Yeah. There's a photo of a human, and that looks really good. Which is a little weird to me because I think the people themselves look a bit weird.
Okay, yeah. I think
I think it
Orange.
looks.
I think Orange gets a pass for how well they've created. I don't think there's an Orange anime that looks bad. So I'm gonna give them the
Yeah,
benefit of the doubt.
I'm genuinely a little surprised by this. Is what I'm saying. Like, this isn't even just like a CG bad thing that I'm trying to do here. Like, because
Mhm.
everything I've watched from Orange before has looked pretty good. Like Trigun looked good.
Trigon looks really good.
I just don't think this looks the best I've ever seen. It doesn't look like terrible or anything. I guess it's just I you know how sometimes CG gives like a little like uncanniness to it.
A little bit for
Um,
sure.
that's like I don't know. That's sort of the view I have on it. That all being said, this looks really cool. Um, like the world seems neat. I love the like bioengineered flying whale. Flying whales are so fucking
So
cool.
cool.
They're like one of my favorite tropes. Giant bioengineered war jellyfish are also super cool. Jellyfish are some of my favorite animals, so I'm excited to see them go around. What's very interesting is when you scroll down, you see themes of cross-dressing and historical. I feel like there's other stuff to throw in there. There was like a lot of information, there's like war going on, and so there's a lot of stuff going on. So like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna watch it. It just looks really cool. It
Hell yeah.
looks really cool.
Yeah,
I just don't think I'm quite as at the level of the animation as you are, but I think it's gonna be. I mean, I hope it's good. I need to remember if I read this when I was a child because it feels familiar.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
no, just based off what I saw, like I'm gonna give Orange the benefit of the doubt just because everything I've seen from them has been great. I think they're a fantastic studio, and the PV with the music just absolutely blew me away. So it's very, very, very high on my list. But Miles, that wraps up everything. Do you have any other shows that were on your list that we didn't get to that you want to shout out?
Yeah.
Could be
Okay. So
sequel.
I was sad that you didn't put the socially awkward witch show on here.
Oh, the Silent Witch one.
Yeah.
So if you
'Cause
want to hear my thoughts on that, just check out
Okay.
check out the replay of our live stream. I definitely checked out that one, but
I wanted to be mean to it.
I wasn't like super high on it when I watched the PV.
Does it look pretty?
Yeah, it looks pretty, but like the story
Okay.
seems very basic. She's like
Okay.
one of 7 of the elites, but she's different because she doesn't talk. And it's like, okay, where is this going to go? And I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we've talked about all the sequels and stuff that are going on. I do want to talk about the mineralogy show really quick.
Yep.
Because I am going to be watching that so that I can at least relay some of it to my father, who has a PhD in geology. So I want to see how it does with its because it has a theme of educational, right?
Yes.
So the goal here is for us to be learning about geology, I'm assuming, or like minerals,
mineralogy,
which is mineralogy, which I would assume is like an aspect of
a
geology.
subset of geology. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it'll be. I just want to do that. I think that will be fun for me. So I will be watching it for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna be intrigued to see how horny Studio Bind makes it because the second main character has like double G's, and they just have to do that because that's what Studio Bind does. They have to have just one character that's like that.
Yeah, looking at the manga, if they make it horny, it'll be a change from the manga from like a quick glance.
Yep.
What else has Studio Bind done?
Mushoku Tensei.
That's a bummer.
Yep. And Onamai, I am now your sister or whatever.
You know what? You know what you can't say about Mushoku Tensei? That it's not a good looking show.
It looks incredible. It looks so good.
Yeah.
So does Onamai.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not their fault that the subject matter is what it is.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay.
Anything else on your list? Sequels that you're checking out?
Yeah, I mean, so Dress Up Darling, the ones we've already talked about. Let me see really quick.
Are you gonna watch
else.
Are you watching Kaiju number 8 season 2? Or was season 1 enough? Okay.
Season 2. No, I think I'll watch number 2. I might not watch it live. I might wait until it's like all out and then watch it one day if I'm feeling lazy or something.
Sure.
Which is kind of how I watched season 1, so that'll be good. More Dr. Stone to watch. I mean, yeah, we talked about the things that I will be watching that are sequely. You're gonna be watching Vending Machine season 2, Pete?
Hell no.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that was a meme. Season 1 sucked, like straight up. It was not funny. It was fun to fuck around with Boxo for a minute, but one season of that show was plenty.
What about you? What sequels do you got?
Sequels
or other shows?
Yeah, like big ones: Dress Up Darling, Dawn to Dawn, Call of the Night, Grand Blue. Those are like the big ones I would say for sequels. For newer shows that we didn't get to, Turkey, Cute Girls.
Okay, dude, right now on my screen, I had just pulled up Turkey to mention to you. If you didn't mention it here, I was like, how did I miss this?
Hell no, I'm watching Turkey for sure. This has been on my This is they showed like the PV of this show like a year ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been. I feel like it's because I think it's an original. So like they've had PV art for this for like a year. So Turkey, Let's Go Karaoke. It's about a like high school student teaching a Yakuza member how to sing karaoke. Looks very silly and fun. Looking forward to that. Fermat no Ryuri or Fermat Cuisine. It's the one where he uses math to cook.
Oh, is it Rory?
Rory? Yeah, it's the one where he uses math to cook. So
Oh, okay.
I think that concept is, I don't even know what it is, but it's from the same author of Awashi, the soccer anime, and I really like the Awashi, so I'll give that a shot. For my Slice of Life fans, see you at the food court tomorrow. It's a short. It's about like a Gairu and like I think like a really smart girl. They go get lunch every day. So polar opposites, getting lunch and becoming friends. Big fan
yeah, I
of
thought
that.
about doing that one too.
Yeah, so that one looks awesome. I think in terms of like high priority shows, we covered them. There's some ones that are like lower on my list that I might watch. The one where like the dude is like the ugly bastard character from a hentai, and he's like literally God, could be funny. Probably going to be shit, but yeah, it sounds crazy. And then there's one that Eagle pointed out.
TR is art.
Dude, yeah. It's called Necronomicon and the Cosmic Horror Show. Don't really know what it's about, but the PV art looks fucking crazy. It could be like an idol show. It could be not an idol show. I don't really know.
Cthulhu does cosmic horror.
The theme is video games, but all the characters look like anime or look like idols. So I don't know. We'll find out when that comes out, but I do like the name and the art of it. So summer looks great. I think I have something like 19 or 20 new shows, and then carrying over is Anne Shirley and
To Be Hero X.
To Be Hero. Yep. I'm more than likely dropping Wish Watch, so I probably won't have that one continuing over. But I think we got what I wanted to talk about. So, Miles, any parting word to your adoring fan?
Yeah. Hi, Mom. No, I think we're good. I'm excited to see what we got here. I had a good call last preview with Apocalypse Hotel, so hopefully one of the shows that I brought up that's like a little more niche ends up working out this time as well. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I will say if I had a dark horse pick for this summer, I think I'm trying to think like in terms of like Mal rating, or do I actually think it's going to be like bigger than what I think it is? I think Nyaight of the Living Dead has a good chance of like catching some steam and being pretty popular if it's as funny as I think it's going to be. So I'm gonna do that's my dark horse pick because I think it only has like 10,000 members on Mal or something. So not super high up compared to Don to Don, which has 189,000, or My Dress Up Darling, which has 211,000. So compared to those, it's 1/20th. So hopefully that's my dark horse.
Crazy that My Dress Up Darling has more members than Dawn to Dawn.
It's also been announced longer than Dawn to Dawn
okay.
season 2, so it probably had an opportunity to get more members. But by the end of it, well, Dress Up Darling season 1 was pretty damn popular. Does it have over 1 mil? It has 1.2 mil on Mal, so it's actually more popular than Dawn to Dawn. I wasn't sure if it was or not. So that's the summer preview. It looks like it's going to be a really good season, especially if you like sequels. So looking forward to talking about these shows and I guess we do a first impressions episode. So first impressions episode down the line when we get at least 3 episodes in, we'll talk about that, and then obviously do the finale of the summer season at the end. But we have the spring review coming up in a couple weeks, so we'll be talking about all the new shows, and you'll see me talk a lot about Apocalypse Hotel because I love that show. But I think we got everything covered for today. So I want to say, Miles, thank you for joining me as always. Thank you for talking to me about random anime that you'll watch half of these with. And shout out to everybody out there who is listening. If you are watching or listening, if you want to support us, the best way to do so, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you are watching or listening to us on. I don't know when this episode is coming out because I have to do some scheduling before I go to AX, but I think the next episode will be given. And if it's not given, it's going to be the spring review. So one of those 2 shows will be the next episode after you listening to this one. So we'll figure it out when I get everything recorded. But I'm heading out to AX in like 9 days, and I have to record 2 podcasts and get them edited before I leave. So should be an interesting and fun, busy next 9 days. But thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.